If I say I'm going to be there at 11, Ben, I'm going to be there at 11 or 10:55. Quit driving a taxi and started driving Uber and Lyft a couple of years ago, but it's the same job, just saying it a different way. Hi, I am Mick Trenor, transportation driver here in Tallahassee, Florida. Been doing this for a very, very long time. One of the stories that it's really hard for me to tell because I feel bad about the story and what happened. So I called the number the dispatcher gave me, and a woman answered and said, "Hey, could you pull around to the side, on the side street?" I said, "Sure." And I pulled around the side street. Well, I saw somebody in the house, and the light went off, and the porch light went off, and I was kind of watching, and I'm sitting there, why am I on the side? Because sometimes there's a side door or garage or something, but I didn't think much of it, thinking this is kind of weird. Why am I not? Anyhow, but the front porch goes off, but I'd seen a woman standing there with a guy in the window, and they close the curtain, come out on the porch, and I'm looking at the woman. She turns the light off, and then I see they're kissing, saying goodbye. No big deal. That happens quite a bit. And he comes running across the front yard, literally, running across, starts walking, kind of jog over the front. I'm sitting there for 5 minutes at this point, and the cab's waiting. So he comes and jumps in. And I want to say it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And remember, you don't really know who you're picking up with a taxi. Well, this guy gets in, and he's one of those, "Hey, how you doing tonight?" Well, I tell he had a few drinks, but he was kind of sober at this point. He'd been drinking earlier, you could tell. But he's one of those kind of guys that, "Oh man, that was a mess. That was a great night, man. She was such a hot girl." I realized he'd met this girl, and he starts talking and bragging. He met her at a club, and that was her house. And yeah, I don't like guys like that. Act like you've been there. I mean, I hate to say that, but okay, buddy, whatever. He's late 20s, But I just kind of didn't really hear a whole. I mean, he was talking and bragging about this girl he'd met and told me where he met her and all this stuff, and she was, kind of crazy. But anyhow, so I drove him home, dropped him off. I didn't think a whole lot much about it. Got paid, and a day or two later, it was close, like 2 or 3 days later at most, maybe 3 days, I get dispatched, pick up at Greyhound. I picked this guy up at the Greyhound, and he's in uniform. And he said that he missed his flight, and it was one of those crazy, I was supposed to be going here, and I'm on leave, I only got so much time, and I'm not going to wait another day in Atlanta, I got a bus, and, okay, whatever, so, and he's in uniform, he's got his duffel, and, he puts it in the back, and he gives me the address, and something rang that bell about that address. And he's like, "Yeah, I got married, and, then a Desert Storm shortly afterwards, right, 9/11 just happened not too long ago. He'd enlisted in the military, he got deployed, he was home for the first time in a long time. He didn't really know Tallahassee. We were talking a little about Tallahassee because he just moved here with his wife, but she's from Tallahassee. And so I'm kind of pointing stuff out. We're driving, but he's really excited to be home or excited to be here. As I get closer, then all of a sudden I realize, I turn on the street, I realize what house I'm going to. And he's so excited to see his wife. They've been married for only a couple of months before he got deployed. And I pull up in front of the house, and I realize that that's the house I'd been to the other day that I pulled on the side yard. And the door opens up, and there's a woman standing there, and I'm about 98% sure it's the same woman I saw kissing another guy 3 nights ago. And he's, "All right, buddy," and he hands me a bill and jumps out and grabs his bag and runs up. She's all excited to see him. And I'm thinking, you know what? And I have to be honest, now I probably would have mentioned to him when I got on the street, "I think I picked up here the other night. You may want to call the cab company and see if this is the exact," I knew it was the exact address. I knew it was the exact house, but he could have called the cab company and verified, because they actually keep records. I didn't say anything to him. And I always felt bad about that. Here's this young guy that I'm pretty sure that was his wife with that other guy a couple of nights ago. And I don't know how to handle that situation.
Taxi talks.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I could tell you, I could drive to that house to this day. Yeah, because sometimes it just things. The first time I didn't think much of it, you know.